Hey everyone, welcome back to Airborne Explorer. Have you ever wondered if there are special rules pilots follow in the sky, kind of like the traffic rules we follow while driving on the road? Well, there absolutely are. And today, we're diving into the two main sets of rules that keep our skies safe, VFR and IFR. That's visual flight rules and instrument flight rules. So, what's the difference? Let's break it down. Visual flight rules, VFR. As the name suggests, pilots fly using their eyes, looking out the window, spotting landmarks, and keeping clear of clouds and obstacles. It's all about flying by sight, which means you need good weather and clear visibility. Instrument flight rules, IFR. Here, pilots rely on the aircraft's instruments and guidance from air traffic control. This is the go-to when the weather turns bad, visibility drops, or you're flying through clouds or at night. But it's not just a free-for-all up there. Each set of rules has its own checklist and requirements. Let's start with VFR. When can you fly VFR? VFR flights are allowed in most airspace except for Class A. Don't worry if you're not sure what airspace classes are, we'll cover that in another video. Conditions. To fly VFR, you need what's called visual meteorological conditions, VMC. That means above 10,000 feet, 3,050 meters, you need at least 8 kilometers of visibility, and you must stay 1,500 meters horizontally and 300 meters vertically away from clouds. Below 10,000 feet but above 3,000 feet, 900 meters, visibility drops to 5 kilometers, but the cloud separation stays the same. Below 3,000 feet, in most airspace, the rules are similar, but in some classes, like F and G, you just need to stay clear of clouds and keep the ground in sight. And here's a big one: no VFR takeoffs or landings if visibility is less than 5 kilometers or if the cloud ceiling is below 1,550 feet. Time of day. VFR flights usually aren't allowed from 20 minutes before sunrise to 20 minutes after sunset unless you get special permission from air traffic control. Altitude and location. Don't fly VFR over big crowds or residential areas below. Always fly 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle, and never less than 150 meters above the ground or water. Now, you might be wondering, can pilots just fly as high or as fast as they want under VFR? The answer is, definitely not. There are some strict limits in place to keep things safe and organized. First off, VFR flights are never allowed to operate at transonic or supersonic speeds. That means you can't break the sound barrier or get anywhere near it while flying VFR. Those speeds are reserved for special operations and are just not safe when you're relying on your eyes to navigate. There are also altitude restrictions. In India, according to DGCA rules, VFR flights can't go above flight level 150, that's 15,000 feet. Internationally, under ICAO rules, the limit is usually flight level 290, 29,000 feet, but this can vary depending on the country and airspace. Military aircraft get a bit more leeway, they can operate VFR up to flight level 285, but even they can't go higher than that under VFR. And here's another key point. VFR flights are not allowed to go more than 100 nautical miles out to sea from the shoreline if you're in controlled airspace. So, if you're dreaming of a VFR flight far over the ocean, you'll need to stick to these boundaries. All these rules are in place because, as you get higher or go faster, it becomes much harder to see and avoid other aircraft, especially if the weather turns or visibility drops. That's why these limits are strictly enforced. Now, let's talk about special VFR. Ever heard of special VFR? This is a special clearance you can get from air traffic control if the weather dips below standard VFR minimums but isn't too bad. You'll need at least 1,500 meters of visibility, your aircraft must be instrument certified, and the pilot must have an instrument rating. Now, what about IFR? IFR is all about flying by instruments, no matter the weather. pilots must file a detailed flight plan, get clearances from air traffic control, and follow strict routes and altitudes. You'll need more advanced equipment, think GPS, autopilot, and navigation radios. And to fly IFR, the pilot must hold an instrument rating for that aircraft. IFR flights must stay above the minimum en route altitude, MEA, or at least 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle if MEA isn't published. Want to switch from VFR to IFR or vice versa? Only the pilot can request that change, not air traffic control. So, whether you're flying by sight on a sunny day or navigating through clouds by instruments, these rules are what keep everyone safe and organized in the sky. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more aviation insights. Got questions or want to learn more? Drop a comment below. Thanks for watching Airborne Explorer.